Welcome to a special supplemental episode of The Apocalypse. I must apologize to my audience. I have severely misinterpreted several emails, for I am looking at about 1,000 things a day. I had only skim-read Leon Scum's declination of an invitation by Mr. Jeff Epstein, the most prolific sex trafficker of our time. And this declination of the invitation seemed abnormal, for Leon had sent several emails begging and inviting himself, to the point Mr. Epstein had to get his secretary or Ghislaine to message Mr. Scum and blow him off, for he is that level of a douchebag. But I am personally certain that Leon Scum has hung out with Epstein, and it's obvious from the emails. Now, I said yesterday that Leon had declined an invitation to come hang out and be with girls. I was wrong. I had only skim-read the email. I didn't realize the context. I did not realize the context. Mr. Epstein, when he was saying, "Do you think I'm retarded?" Now I understand. I've looked more closely. Forgive me. Let us clear up something. Leon did not decline an invitation to come sleep with girls. Leon declined an invitation to come watch diplomats speak. Mr. Epstein was speaking to Leon in coded language, for Mr. Epstein did not want to just flat out say, "Yes, I have a bunch of underage girls for you to sleep with and me to sleep with. That's really what I'm inviting you to, you moron." Let's begin. For whatever neurodivergent reason, Musk is incapable of talking in code and innuendo. Let me stop here. A lot of people have tried to give me messages in code throughout my life, and my mind isn't automatically on the nefarious path, in a code language about drugs or about this or about that. Other people are used to that. Their mind is on the nefarious path all the time. That's their world. People I've met and dealt with over years. And just like Leon, they would say something to me in coded language and I'd be thinking they're talking literally, because my mind isn't where their mind is. But Leon's is. So, they're making the point that Leon has some neurodivergence that makes him incapable of understanding when someone's speaking in code. No, Leon was just bored by the proposal, that's all. He wasn't interested. And what he's looking for from Mr. Epstein. Which makes his exchanges with Epstein interesting. In this case, the dialogue went something like this. Epstein: "Do you want to come over to my place for a party? I'll have many interesting people during UN General Assembly." Musk: taking Epstein literally, "Not interested in meeting diplomats, too busy." Epstein: "Do you think I'm retarded? Just kidding, there's no one over 25, all very cute." Now, let's look at the email. Those emails yesterday where Jeff is contacting his secretary. His secretary's email doesn't have the big capital G. Ghislaine's emails have the big capital G Maxwell. So I'm still not certain whether Jeff contacted his secretary or Ghislaine to send that message to Leon that, "Yeah, we're shutting it down, Leon. You just missed Jeff. Sorry." That does sound like a secretary, though. Those are the exact things secretaries say to people. But again, the email doesn't look the same. One email has the big capital G, and then the rest is blacked out. And I've seen Ghislaine Maxwell's emails. They say G Maxwell in all caps. Mrs. Groff's email only said whatever her name is, Groff. It didn't have the big capital G. So I'm still, again, wondering personally, did he contact the secretary to brush Leon off, or was that Ghislaine? I'll figure it out. Don't worry. Again, I'm not as concerned with the rest of you with the gory details of the Epstein files, because I already know they're all pedophiles. I knew a long time ago. So I'm not paying as close attention as some of you, and as to other things. So the email starts off September 11, 2013, 5:30 a.m. Jesus. Starting the day off. Or maybe Jeff is up all night, abusing underage girls and didn't go to sleep yet. So this was to Leon from Jeff. Any plans for New York? The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the house. The opening of the General Assembly has many interesting people coming to the house. Here's Leon, September 11th, 2013 at 2 p.m. I guess that's when he finally woke up after the dropping E-bombs and Special K all night. I run and lead product design engineering for 2 complicated companies. Moreover, SpaceX is about to launch what is arguably the most advanced rocket in history. Flying to New York to see UN diplomats do nothing would be an unwise use of time. But Leon, going and sleeping with underage girls or boys, whatever you're into, because I ain't convinced, Leon, that's not a waste of your time, right? If Jeff would have stated that outright, you would have been all about it. Yeah, I'll be there. Time and place, just name it. Right, Leon? Right. I made the mistake, Leon, of giving you the tiniest benefit of the doubt, to where you would at least take the time to try and cover your tracks and write an email where you're declining an invite to a sex party. That's not remotely what you're doing here, Leon. You're saying, Jeff, I'm not interested in meeting diplomats, and what about the girls, man? That's all I want to talk to you about. So that's when Jeff emails back like, this guy's fucking, I gotta say it outright. And Jeff says it outright. Do you think I'm retarded? Just kidding. There's no one over 25 and all very cute. So Jeff had to flat out say, yeah, we got some underage. We got some real young. And he doesn't say girls or boys. But he says he's got them all under 25. He has to say it outright because Leon doesn't get it, one. And Leon's mind is on the nefarious path. Fuck, I want to go talk to some diplomats. I got my welfare. I want to talk about girls, FTW, son. I actually thought for a moment that he just wrote an email to decline an invite to make himself look good. Nope. This is a legitimate interaction where Leon's basically saying, I'm not interested in meeting people and talking to people, diplomats, etc. If you had mentioned some girls, though, and then Mr. Epstein mentioned some young people, not necessarily girls, and that the message really wasn't about meeting diplomats, you asshole. I gotta spell it out for you, son. Well, it appears Leon is neck deep in the pedo stuff along with Donnie and the rest of them. It appears the MAGA movement has been utterly of Satan, and every time they pointed a finger at a liberal or liberal groups or liberals in general and said they're the pedos, they're the Satanists, eating children, doing all that, no, that was them, son. That was you, son. The right-wing, conservative, Christian. You are the pedophile movement. You've been for at least 10 years, 20 on social media. Vlad and his sex trafficking buddies, pedophiles, they gave you your talking points. They molded your movement and you preached its gospel. It's satanic, pedophile gospel. That's all you people have been doing. You people have literally been the shield for the worst pedophiles in modern history. You've preached their gospel. Be they from foreign countries like Vlad, or they're people here, Leon, Pete Thale, Donnie, J.D. Vance, others. You have been the mouthpiece for the pedophile movement your entire life. Your gospel is purely of Satan. Your movement is purely of Satan. You're naught but empty marks that got filled with talking points to defend pedophiles, traitors, criminals, white supremacists, evil Satanists. That's the gospel you've been preaching and your churches. And I guess I should mention again what I've mentioned before. You people that know what I know, church leaders that have been running this right-wing grift your entire life, you knew exactly what Donnie was the second he came on the scene. I know every one of you knew. Everyone. God gave you knowledge of prophecy, of scripture, of good and evil. He gave you the time, the place to study it, absorb it, preach it, help people. You pointed them in the direction of pedophile Satanists. That's what you did with the knowledge, the education God gave you. You used it to keep your congregation large. You used it to stay in authority and power that you have. For if you would have said their pedophile Messiah was the Antichrist or of Satan, you would have been ostracized. You would have lost your congregation. They would have hated you. They would have called you a traitor. You know what God would have called you, son? A hero. You people have gotten your flocks to go along with pedophiles, Satanists, and the Antichrist, and the devil. God will hold you most accountable. Like I said before, folks, there are other things I'd rather be doing, and I could do them. But I know that would be my ass if I did them. What I want to do, my personal glory, what I'm interested in, if I pursue that, that's my ass. That's the difference between me and your local preacher telling you to vote your conscience, telling you to vote for Satan, telling you to vote for pedophiles. They could be doing what I'm doing and pointing you in the right direction and telling you what Donnie is and trying to help you save yourself. Because only you can do it, son. Christ can't do it for you. God can't do it for you. They can point you in a direction. You got to walk it, son. One more time, you people in teaching positions that know what I know, and you've known what Donnie is for a long time. I know that about you. And you're going along anyway. And worse, you're taking your congregations with you. You're misleading the sheep you're supposed to shepherd, son. And it's astounding. I watch so many, Hal Lindsey included. So many of you preach Jesus and God and anti-socialism and liberalism your entire lives. You knew all the signs, you knew all the warnings, you knew what to look for, and then you saw it. And instead of warning your congregation, instead of being the voice of God here on earth and condemning the Antichrist, you went along to keep your power and glory and authority and congregation and status and place in the community. And you told your flock to go along. That's what's going to cost you, son. You knowing what he is, you knowing what this is, and you pointing your flock in the wrong direction anyway. Oh my God, what the man is going to do to you people. "10 years ago, I could have went in many directions to make money in this game. I've explained to you people many times, I am not a stupid person. And I saw that Pizzagate grift sitting right there, baby, 10 years ago when it was hot. I saw that right-wing grift sitting there. I could have been like so many of you out there and just got on camera, started yelling about liberals are evil, Hillary's a Satanist, Joe Biden's a Satanist, Barack Obama's the Antichrist, Pizzagate, Pizzagate, Pizzagate. I could have been doing that all day. I could have been a millionaire, son. I went the complete opposite direction. Even though when I first got on here, I was preaching to Christians that dug Pizzagate and all that. Of course, they were down until they realized I was against Pizzagate and all that shit, and I knew it was bullshit. And the pagans were down until they found out I was preaching Christ when the rock star stuff happened. The second I started preaching Christ, cut in half. That's how offensive it was to so many of you. So a lot of the Christians, once they found out I wasn't on board with their Pizzagate bullshit and that I was preaching the real gospel, not the right-wing capitalist MAGA gospel, where we vote for pedophiles and Satan, literally. A lot of the Christians went away. When the rock star days came, second I mentioned Jesus, a lot of the pagans hated me, went away. When YouTube defamed me, and shut down my channels and were throwing strikes like they were hotcakes, and I dared go to another channel and let it cool off for a minute. So many of you write to the mob's talking points that I'm running off with your money. No, I was being censored off with your money. And I tried to explain that to some of you people. And even though I would come on video and explain the strikes, or I explain them somewhere else, no one wanted to hear that. Nope, Google defamed me, the mob defamed me, a few people out on the street defamed me because of a jealous woman and her talented husband that I was nothing but friends to. People ran along with that too. So sad what we could have done. You people out there, we just could have stuck together. What a shame. My musician friend and his jealous wife. What we could have done, son. Now no one even knows your name. What a shame. But I'm glad I stayed the course. Oh, and I want to say something before I go. Someone said something in an email to me, and I was going to write him an email back, and I keep forgetting. I'm so busy. And they're a little upset with me right now, and I understand why. If they're legitimate, and I still really not sure who they are exactly. But they said something. And I heard it. I noticed. And it lends to your credibility of being real. Because I must explain to you, I have a lot of stalkers. Always have. Once I got in this game. And they'll email me and pretend to be people and feign concern and stuff like that. They do it all the time. For years. And everyone that's promised anything has reneged. And I didn't even ask for the promises, and I didn't ask for the offers. Ever. So I have those two things to deal with when I'm dealing with any human being, and they never disappoint. Maybe this person was real this time. I don't know. But they said one thing. Because they were a little upset with something I said on camera, and I understand why. I'm not mad at them. I don't even know who they are. They said basically, I'm paraphrasing. It's not exactly what they said. I'm sorry. I'm trying to remember. I was trying to help you so you didn't have to stand alone. Something like that. You said you're standing alone. I was trying to help you with that. That moved me, whether you're real or not. That was a nice thing to say. That was a nice sentiment to convey. And I think about it every day. That you said that. Whether you're real or not. And what I mean by real is a stalker pretending, or someone pretending, or someone really trying to offer some type of help. That was a very nice thing you said. Thank you for that. And thank you for your offer if it was real. And I hope everyone has a wonderful day. And again, my apologies for misinterpreting Leon's email. I'm looking at so many things per day you don't even understand, and trying to work at the same time. So in closing, Leon did not turn down an invitation ever to a sex party at Epstein's residence or to hang out wherever that takes place. I don't care if Leon went to the actual island or not. He obviously hung out with the guy several times. What Leon was actually turning down, to be very clear, was hanging out with UN officials and talking to them and listening to them talk. He was not turning down an invitation to a sex party with Jeff Epstein. Enjoy, and thank you for your attention in this matter. And Leon, that's quite concerning. Very concerning. Have a good day.